Greetings to all my self made executives and entrepreneurs. Welcome to Curious Conversation, a live talk show where we discuss business and bring entrepreneurs together to learn from each other's experiences and ideas to grow and thrive. I am Adrienne Johnson, your host, the Lady Executive. Each week, we interview entrepreneurs to understand the steps they took to be successful and why. We also invite a live audience to join and ask questions, so be sure to add your questions to the chat panel. My guest today is Leilani Wells, a marketing expert, a brand manager specializing in social media, visibility, and video content creation. She's known for her unique ability to recognize the highest level self in individuals. She quickly identifies their highest potential, guides them to it, and then shares how to amplify their unique gifts within the world of social media and online marketing. It is my pleasure to welcome Leilani to the call. Welcome, Leilani.
Thank you so much, Adrienne.
I'm so excited to have you with us to talk about visibility and this thing known as a visibility coach. So, share with us where visibility coaching came from. What is that?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for having me here, and thank you for the applause button at the beginning. That gives like the perfect start. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here. So yes, I basically started off in like many people do with all of these different paths and things you try out until you get to what you feel your calling is, right?
Sure.
And visibility coaching didn't start out as visibility coaching. It started out very much in the world of social media coaching and Instagram coaching. And I started to realize that people were coming to me for what they thought they needed help with, which was, oh, I think I need to learn the platform and the tools. And what I was finding is what they really needed was coaching on how to actually use those tools, how to actually put themselves out there and have that confidence and really utilize what YouTube already has for you to figure that out, right?
Right, right.
The information is all, the word Googleable comes to mind. So I think someone just coined that as an actual word, Googleable. But it is, everything is out there for us to know. And then, when I started realizing that people weren't gravitating towards just getting that information like I always did, then I was like, okay, there's something more to this that needs to be happening here with the coaching. And so I changed it to being a visibility coach from there.
That's really awesome. I know, me personally, there's been so many
Mhm.
times, I've done those
Dirty cut.
classes, right, where
Mhm.
they teach you how to get more visible on social media, how to use Instagram, how to use YouTube, and to there's so much information out there. So to have someone to be able to pull it all together for your
Yeah.
specific needs, that's really cool. I applaud you for that.
Thank
So
you.
tell me, like, how do you help individuals with their visibility?
Great question. There's a lot of layers to it. It really depends on what people's needs are. Some people come to me with a team and they have scaled their business up, and then they need help really showing their team what to do. And then others come to me and they are solopreneurs and they want to know how to get themselves out there and be more visible. And then others come to me and they want, my team to run their social media platforms and things of that nature. But what one thing is consistent throughout any type of client that comes to me
Hmm.
is that they all have to have their hands in their social media. It's your brand, it's who you are. No matter how busy you feel like you are, or how far you've gone in your career and your business, you should always know how people are representing you. You should
Right.
always have some sort of control in that, some sort of eye on what's being said in your voice, some sort of real understanding and interaction with the people that you want to do business with you and interact with you, right?
Right.
We want to actually be social with them and communicate with them and say hello ourselves once every blue moon, right? Not
Right.
have somebody else
Absolutely.
do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I find that a lot of times people feel like having people run their social media and passing it off is such a fun space to be in, and oh, relief off my back and this and that, right? Get it away. Because they're spending so much time listening to what they're supposed to do to be visible.
Right.
And so they lose the joy out of what social media actually is, which is just communication.
Right.
Like literally, if we changed the word social media to communication, nobody would say, "Ugh, I don't want to communicate today about my passion and my business. I'm tired of communicating." No, okay, if you're here to change the world through what your special thing is that you do, you're
Right.
never going to be tired of shouting it from the rooftops once you figure out what that is and you got your hands in it. You don't get tired of that. You
Right.
you you get joyful about that. You're
Right.
excited about that. It's not, something you're just doing to pay the bills. You've found your calling. So the reason why you don't want to do your social media is because you've lost track of the fact that it's just telling people stuff
Right.
and hearing stuff from people. It's communication. And once we take our power back with what that means for us,
Right.
then we have fun with it. We
Right.
say, oh, we don't have to post on Instagram every day. I don't actually like Instagram. I like Facebook more. So I'm going to be off Instagram and utilize Facebook more. That's okay.
Okay.
Or I like Pinterest. Well, do Pinterest and drive people to your website if you love Pinterest, you love pinning, and stop with all the Facebook stuff. You can make your own rules. So that's a lot of what work that we do with every single client is really, help them understand, yes, have a presence everywhere, but you don't have to blow up everywhere. You just find what you love first, work with that, because at the end of the day, it's really about monetization and
Right.
being able to work with more people. It's not about, being the next celebrity
Sure.
online.
Sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's a really good point. When in doing my marketing, right, I'm always like, well, I have to make sure that I do my two posts here and my three
Yeah.
posts on Facebook and also do a pin here. And that's kind of eye opening to understand, to your point of picking something that you're comfortable with and be good at it, right?
Yeah.
With your communication, your social
Mhm.
media, and then just utilize the other ones just to get words out. So that's kind of cool. I need to think about that a little bit more for myself.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and so when a company comes to you, when a person comes to you and they're talking to you about their marketing strategy on social media, do you do recommendations based off of their business on the appropriate platform for them to use?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when it comes to, so like for instance, actually a couple of my clients, they generate most of their business from LinkedIn and Facebook.
Okay.
So we do a lot of LinkedIn work with them and Facebook work as well. But and it can go back and forth where it comes from with LinkedIn and where it comes from with Facebook. And we do a lot of testing on both. Facebook is a big thing. It's interesting because a lot of us lose sight of how big of a deal Facebook is. And excuse me. And so basically, and my cat's coming in and out if
No
you guys hear any
worries.
stuff.
He's
But
welcome to the show.
right, welcome to the show, Mushoes. But basically, a lot of people, including myself, lose sight of the impact that Facebook has because Facebook has been around for so long. It has so many. It's taken it's made its way into so many aspects of our lives, right? Like you
Right.
sign in using your Facebook,
Yes.
and it's like, okay, like you have all my information, but because they have all your information, you're going to use Facebook for so many things, even if you're getting your business from another platform,
Mm.
right? Even if you're
Mhm.
getting your business from
Mhm.
Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You may be in the DMs speaking with someone you're collaborating with. It's usually going to be the DMs in Facebook because
Right.
that's what people are used to from all of these years. So, what I like to really make clear to all my clients is look, I enjoy Instagram way more than Facebook, but
Okay.
you and I are going to be on Facebook all day using it as some sort of tool, regardless. And so is everybody else because we're using Facebook to log in everywhere and we're using it for things, right?
Right.
And so the thing is like, let's market there. It is a lot in alignment with everything else, alongside everything else. Let's market on Facebook too, even if we're not finding joy there. If we're putting something somewhere else, just repurpose it, slap it up on Facebook, even
I
if you're
hear you.
not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, you know what's kind of funny about that you mentioned? I was looking for a chiropractor, and I went online. You know, do you do your research, right? And so I popped in this particular person's name into Google,
Mm-hmm.
and it brought up their website and their Facebook. So I was like, oh, Facebook, let me take a look. Because I knew that I would be able to also get reviews there from,
Mm-hmm.
everyday people who would utilize it. So I used that for, to understand the reviews. And then it also had an opportunity to message the doctor. Now, doctors are pretty much hands off when it comes to interactions. They always handle that through their front desk, but it was the option to DM the doctor. So I did that. I shared, what my concern was and what I was looking for. And I booked my chiropractor visit right there on Facebook. And if that's not
Mm-hmm.
marketing, I don't know what is, right?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
getting, business from all different channels. So I
Mm-hmm.
totally understand the relevance of Facebook and how powerful it could be. And I'm sure I don't even understand all of the aspects of Facebook and what,
Mm-hmm.
the resource that it is for me as a business person. So you do you go into that also? Do you like deep dive into the platforms to help your clients understand the platforms that much more?
It's interesting. Usually, and a couple to your point too, you said you don't even understand before I answer that question because it brought something up for me. Is where it's funny because people come to us marketers and think that we know everything, right?
Uh,
And no marketer says I don't know everything that often. It's very rare, but I always tell people like this is new for everybody, like the way we market now, it's everybody, it's new territory. It's not like it used to be, right? Where you go and pay for an ad on a TV commercial and everyone
right.
knows what's going to happen. Yes, you're going to do testing, right? But you kind of know it's been around for long enough, right? So it's interesting that people think that something they can go to someone and we're telling them yes, yeah, this is going to work, this and that. You have to do a lot of testing, when you do this stuff. So and to your question, you were asking about, I think you were asking about if we tell everyone all the ins and outs, right, that we
Right.
know.
Do a deep dive
Yeah.
on the platforms.
Yeah, the deep dive on the platform. So it's interesting because there's so much to know and so much to learn with the stuff that we all do know. And if we lay all that on you, you guys are like, "What the? Just tell me what to do. I don't
Right.
even know. That's for you to know."
Overwhelmed, overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelm. Like,
Okay.
what does it confuse people? Do nothing, right? So,
Right.
I do share with people, and they come to me frantic usually. So it's like let me tell you, okay, it's okay. You just do one thing today. Don't worry about all the other stuff. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. One thing at a time. Because something, I always tell people, something is better than no thing. And
Right.
you're doing no thing right now because you're overwhelmed.
Right.
So if you come to me and you want me to tell you every single thing all at once, then I'm not doing my job properly because I'm helping you stay in overwhelm. That's not what we're going to do here.
Sure.
You
Sure.
know what I
That
mean?
makes sense. That makes so
Let's
much
just get
sense.
up there and make a post and put a call to action on that post, and you'll have a customer tomorrow, probably. You
Sure.
know,
Yeah.
so yeah, so we don't need to learn how Instagram algorithm works right now. We just need you to say, hey, do you want to buy this?
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand the doing no thing because I did dive into how all the algorithms worked and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Adrian, my favorite is, well, what time should I post? Everyone asks me that all the time. What time should I post at?
Yes.
Well, why don't you try posting at all? How about that?
Pick a time and just do it,
Time to
right?
post something.
That's funny. I
Or
had
pick a time.
another guest on. I think you know her, Kaisha Slaughter, and she is um, a publisher, publishing consultant. And one of the questions that I asked her is, "How do you get started writing?" Right? And she said, "Write." Just start. Put a pen to paper, right? Just
Yeah.
post. Type something out and hit post and get started. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I watched her
Um
interview. I loved it. I loved watching that interview with you guys.
oh, well thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for being a part of it. I appreciate
Mhm.
that. So let's talk about you and your social media for a second. I know I have the privilege of being a member of your group, Passion to Profit. Tell us a little bit about that group and how it came about.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So, with Passion to Profits, it was interesting because I kind of just slapped it up there just to be efficient. Oh, I have a group, right?
Right.
And the name Passion to Profits, though, that wasn't a slap up kind of thing. It came to me because it's the way I really feel very deeply. And I said, you know what, I'm going to name it Passion to Profits because I deeply feel that if we all focused on what our calling was, what we're here to do, our true passion, all the puzzle pieces would come together. Everyone would be doing what they're supposed to be doing, not worrying about, oh, I got to do this or that to pay a bill. No, everything would be taken care of because we're all our own puzzle piece and all comes together perfectly.
Sure.
And if we focus on our passion first, then the profits come. And it's not the money that pays the bills, it's the profits. It's the big money that comes when
Right.
we really dig deep into what we love, what is on our heart, mind, soul, that we can't stop doing. What doesn't feel like work, we'll be up till 3 a.m. doing because we just love it and we're freaking out for some vision we that's getting bigger and bigger. That's where the profits come,
Right.
where when it's not work anymore. And so with Passion to Profits, I love to bring a community together focused on that. It's mostly women in the group. We have a few great men in there as well. And we all just lift each other up and support each other in our visions. I have posts that go out Monday through Friday so people can talk about what they're excited about, what they're proud of, celebrate themselves, celebrate each other. On Thursdays, we share our businesses with each other, any promotions that we have going on. I share a lot about becoming more visible in different forms in there because that's the biggest part of you living in your passion,
Right.
right? Is
Right.
people letting people know all
Yeah.
about it. So we speak a lot about visibility and marketing and social media and all the things in there as well. So yeah.
That's awesome. You know,
Mhm.
your comment about sharing um, sparked something in me.
Mhm.
I know for me, and I don't know about the individuals out there in my audience, but sometimes, and this is going to sound crazy, I feel reserved about talking about my business because I feel sometimes like maybe I'm boasting or,
Mhm.
maybe people don't really want to hear about it. Do you get that from your clients sometimes as well? Like they don't want to
Yeah.
be pushy with it, I guess?
Yeah, it's pretty common, and this is actually, I think I am very good at getting people out of that because I have such a long history in sales. I spent years in sales of different kind, running call centers, running door knocking crews for ADT dealership, things of that nature, where it was just like very much like sales, sales, sales. So I have no problem talking to people about, hey, I have an offer for you. You want to buy it? You don't want to buy it? Because I don't care if someone tells me no.
Right.
And I hope they tell me no faster so I can get to that yes faster. If it's a no, tell me no. Like it's
Right.
fine,
Right.
right? You don't get what you don't ask for. So what I share with people is like, look, do you believe in your vision? Or do you have something that is powerful, that is going to change somebody's life in any way, shape, or form? Even if you make the best cookies. Well, when somebody bites into that cookie, You may not think that it's life changing, but what if they had like the worst day ever, and that cookie and being in that moment of eating your fabulous cookie is going to give them some peace
Right.
and joy and feel love for themselves and all of these beautiful things when they bite into that cookie. And you thought of that when you were making, putting that love into baking those cookies that you sell, and you presented it that way. Why would you not shout it off to the rooftops and tell
Right.
people?
Right.
Because you're making it about you, not about them, is why. So when we won't post or we won't call someone or we won't sell, quote unquote sell, it's because we aren't thinking of the client. We're thinking
Right.
about ourselves.
Ourselves.
We're being
Selfish.
selfish.
Right.
Unless you don't believe in what you're offering, well,
Right.
then you got to dial it back and add more value and figure out, how to
Right.
make what you're doing a little bit more or a lot more valuable. Then that could be the case,
Right.
right? Sometimes we put something together that isn't valuable enough, and that's what's holding us back. So we need to get back to the drawing board. But if that's not the case, then get out there. People need to know. People need you. People need what you have.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Real quick, I'm gonna give you were talking about cookies, so I have to give a shout out to a very very young entrepreneur in the making who is baking cookies for the holidays and on Facebook. Her site is called Treats for Travel. So take a look at that.
Ooh,
Tell everybody out there in the audience and support this young entrepreneur who has that passion that you're talking about, Leilani, about wanting to do something for someone else to bring them joy. So I was compelled to to share that. But
I
thank you for
love that.
that.
Can you send me after the interview, or can you send me her information?
Absolutely,
Thanks.
absolutely. She is wow, I think she's 11. And I
Yeah.
had the pleasure of being with her last week, and she was baking her little heart out between school and sports. She was getting ready for some orders that came in for the holidays. So definitely, I'll get that over to you.
Very cool. Very cool. We might have to interview her. You and I both, maybe, right?
Right? Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am. I'm down for it. So for the group that's out there, the audience, I know that they're probably dying for a few tips. So can you share with us two or three tips on some essential things that we can do right off the top to be more visible? What are some things
Yes,
we can do?
absolutely. Okay. Number one, what is the best thing that people? Okay, number one, let's start here. Have like any kind of note taking way that you like to do notes, whether it's like voice notes or Google Sheets or a little pad that you like throw in your pocket or drawer or something.
Okay.
um, take notes on things that are important for you to talk about right when it comes to your mind, right?
Okay.
Write it down. And this is if you really want to be active on social. Like if you
Okay.
really want to get out there and have a good amount of content come out more regularly, then you want to plan ahead and not just try and do it in the moment, but the moment things come to you. Like, for example, we were talking about the cookie thing, right?
Right.
So we can write it down while we're talking right now. And then later on, we can go ahead and choose a day where we take that sheet where we have all these things and we go and create in what's called a content day. And
Okay.
why I love and content days sometimes sound a little bit intimidating, but they really can be a couple hours. And the way you dial it into it being just a couple hours is by having things written out in advance, because you just go boom, 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 one and done, right?
Right.
These content pieces when they're video, I love video. Video is my favorite. So that's, I guess, one tip one rolling into tip two is do more video.
Okay.
And when I do a content day, it's 1 minute or less per video. So I can literally sit in front of Zoom and change shirts. There's the cat again. I can change shirts. I can take this off, hair down. I can put my hair up. I can put a hat on, take a hat off, and just never move. Just 1 minute. Okay, now we're in a different outfit. And then sometimes I can be the same look for two different videos, or 3 different videos as well without changing at all. And
Okay.
that's how we can make like 30 videos in just a couple hours. And
Hmm.
this is why we're not quote unquote consistent with
Hmm.
social, which you don't have to be all the time doing everything the same way on social.
Hmm.
And every single day put out 3 posts and things like that. You really
Right.
want to put, you know what I mean? So, but if you want to be more consistent than you already are, these content days are a really good way to do it, because every time you go to post something, you're not going to be in the best mood. And then you're going to feel like, well, I have to post. And that's when social media becomes like,
A chore.
social media is a chore, and it's not communication anymore, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I like to have things in my back pocket already done. So when I'm not feeling so great, I can still add value, and I'm not putting, my funky mood out there for everyone else, because they can feel that.
Right.
Even if I'm not, saying it. I mean, it's just like, oh, what's that about?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. What's another good tip? I would say, with hashtags right now, the word on the streets is don't use 30, use 4 or 5 on Instagram. Don't use the 30 hashtags anymore. And that has been working out well for us when we're doing the testing. We are doing better with the 4 and 5 hashtags.
Okay.
Um, the hashtags, what you want to do with hashtags is you want to have hashtags that um, are used like search engine optimization. That's the point of a hashtag. So you
Okay.
want the hashtag to actually be something that someone hasn't used a million times, because you're going to get lost in the sauce unless you're a celebrity with
Right.
a bajillion followers. You're not going to be seen. So don't bother putting a hashtag that you haven't researched for it being low enough for you to be seen.
Okay.
Like the sweet spot I'm finding is like 50,000 to like sometimes 500,000, but not a million um, times used kind of thing.
Right. Right.
Right. Hashtags and video usage on LinkedIn are so big. Another tip I'd say is don't sleep on LinkedIn, guys. LinkedIn is absolutely incredible for organic marketing right now. It's so like a lot of people are so scared of it because they're so used to just being themselves, and
Yeah.
everyone's tired of that corporate feel, like, oh, I got to
Yeah.
show up in my business coat and
Yeah.
do things the masculine way of what we were told all our no, like you can be like whoever you want to be in business. You can be your true self now, and do whatever. But the thing is that LinkedIn still has that vibe where we feel a little scared of it, right?
Right.
Not everybody, but a lot of us. But what you find is the average income level is higher on LinkedIn, and people are business people on LinkedIn. They're ready to spend their money on LinkedIn. They want to talk business on LinkedIn. So the thing is if you put video on LinkedIn and you start building relationships on LinkedIn, you're going to be seen a lot faster there than the other platforms. So I would definitely suggest that if you are not utilizing LinkedIn, folks, that you utilize that for visibility, that
Okay.
platform. So yeah, I'll give more tips as we go, but I want to
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I
I
feel like
do.
I'm
I do think I agree
going
with
to
you. I
talk.
do think a lot of people are sleeping on LinkedIn,
Yeah,
especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? Like
yeah.
LinkedIn, because of my 9 to 5, I'm on LinkedIn, but
Mhm.
also I realize that that's where business happens. Like you want to
Mhm.
work with other businesses if you're a
Yeah.
business to business type of organization, or even sometimes there's consumers on there because everybody that is in
Mhm.
business is also a consumer. So it's kind of two birds with one stone, not to be morbid, but
Yeah.
right, you have a really good um, range of individuals that you can reach on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
Okay.
too. Me
Okay.
too. Oh,
So,
another thing too. Oh,
yes,
go ahead.
please. No, please.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So I love to talk about phone sales, because yeah, it's interesting because we forget that it all still comes down to the phone call. So that's a little bit of where I'm different than a lot of people who talk about social media and marketing. Is I have that phone sales background,
Okay.
and I love to say, hey, now remember, you've done the post, you've done the video, you put it all out there, but what happens after that? What
Right.
happens after that is you get them on a Zoom conference or you get them on a call, and that's where you get a new client. So if you don't know what to do at that point, then your posts and your marketing and all of your efforts just out the door, right? So I love to talk to people about, what do you do when you get them on the phone? How do you get them on the phone?
Right.
And we have systems for that. So it's really exciting to really cover that in a lot of the work that we do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so as you said that, right, and you explained it, the what next, that makes so much
Hmm.
sense. Um, and I think that's probably what hinders a lot of people. They just assume that they're going to receive just because they posted something. It's
Hmm.
not the work afterwards that needs to be done isn't always there, that follow through. So
Yeah.
that's pretty deep. Oh, right. Because I was in sales myself at one point, and I can tell you, I hated teleprospecting. I
Mhm.
hated being on the phone. I'm an in front of you type of person, right? Like,
Mhm.
let's get together, let's talk about it. I want to see your body language so I can
Yeah.
understand what's going on with you. And so to think about, hopping on the phone, and plus in today's society with COVID and everything,
Mhm.
people are kind of reserved with that. So we need to utilize our resources, and the phone is one of those, isn't it?
You're like, it is one, isn't
It
it?
is one.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
It can
Okay.
be fun though. It can be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
You're like, okay, yeah, I don't know about that. Okay. You can
oh,
treat it like
but
this, like we're having this conversation here, like
yes.
bringing it back to, and you know what else is great is like, okay, well, now with the social media piece, we can see. I share with people, like, you can see on the back end how people are ready to work with you and how they're feeling by the way they move on your social. Now you can watch their movements. You can
Right.
see, oh, they opened up my email, oh, they didn't click, oh, they did click on what was in the email. You can see, oh, they liked this post, they didn't like that post, but even though they didn't like it, they don't know, but I saw that they saw the post because I've got all these tools, you know what I mean? So you can kind of have an understanding of if they're ready to work with you, thinking about working with you, if they like you, if they love you, like all these things before you get on the call now, to
Right.
where it makes it such a better conversation
Right.
to have.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
So, we have a few minutes left. I do want to remind everyone out there in the audience to input any questions that you have in the chat panel. We're going to get to those in a moment. But I have a couple more questions for you, Leilani. So, we talked a lot about visibility on social media. Do you work with visibility elsewhere? Any other type of format?
yeah, that's a really great question. So it really depends on what we see a need for, right? So, for example, if you have, like, I had a gentleman come to me before where he had a printing business, so it really meant more to talk to him about, oh, well, you actually need people knocking on business doors, right? Showing up in person to the business. This was pre-COVID,
Right.
so there's different techniques that different businesses will need more than others, or different individuals will need to do. We talk about social media more than anything because that's the biggest thing that
Right.
people are trying to understand right now, and really dive into. I did some stuff with a radio show before, and we do podcast, help people with getting out on podcasts more. And so most of the time it's just really Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, email marketing,
Okay.
like I mentioned, phone sales. At the same time, though, it's really about what do you need, right? We need to look and see, well, where's your money coming from, or where should your money be coming from with more ease?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, whatever's going to monetize, basically.
So you said email marketing. That just kind of piqued my interest. So what is it like? Tell me more about the email marketing. Is that more like Mailchimp and all of those things that are out there, or are you speaking more to like one-on-one emails to individuals?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So you can do both. I'm speaking more to like the whole MailChimp
Okay.
style thing, or but at the same time though, there's a tool. It's called, like, for instance, BombBomb is the company, and you can send a direct email with a video in it,
Oh,
using this tool with ease. So if you are having a really great personal relationship with, and you want to, with your client, like you're having this really great back and forth, wanting to have a higher level of communication, either you've gotten that sale or you want to get that client on board, you can have a thought that comes to mind and add value in a quick video and then email that video over to them using this tool. And what happens with BombBomb, where that differs than just sending any video, is it's a motion video. So they'll open up the email and the video will be like them moving, because it'll play some of the video. And what that does is it triggers them to open it and watch it, and they find this video was made specifically for them in that moment, in that day, and it's really special. People like it. So there's different forms of things that you can do to up level your communication via email, and I absolutely love it. And there's a lot to know about email and open rates and things like that.
awesome. Bomb Bomb. I'm gonna have to
Nice.
look into that. I've never
Hmm.
heard of it before, but that I can see where that added value will come in and make it's focused on that particular individual, right? So they would feel
Yes.
special receiving it,
Hmm.
which is different than everything else that's going on nowadays, right? Everything else is mass media and pushed out to, a giant audience. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Thank you for bringing that up. Bomb Bomb,
Yeah.
correct? BOM
Bomb bomb.
BOM.
Yeah. It's a bo, like a bomb. Yeah. And
Okay.
it's interesting because we lose, in all these new forms of communication, we lose a lot of communication. Like I
Yeah.
think it's 75% of communication, 75% or more is nonverbal, right? So we want to really be as close to people as possible. And that's why I love getting people in a Zoom meeting or things like this. This is the best form of communication, second only to in person.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Um, the next is so you do this coaching. Do you do it on an individual basis? Do you do it on a group basis? How can someone get involved and work with you for visibility?
Right now, and thank you for asking. Right now, my passion right now is getting people started in my group visibility program right now.
Okay.
That's launching. Yeah, it launches December 7th, and it is called Get Seen. And so we have, I think, 5 ladies, 4 or 5 already on board that joined early. There's going to be, I think I'm going to cap it at about 12, somewhere
Okay.
around that number. And that's something that I absolutely am loving right now. We're on our second round 2. And why I love it so much is community has done so much for me, is not just being with an amazing coach that I had, but her name's Amy Yamada. She was my previous business coach, who I was in her mastermind, and I got the fabulous coaching from her. And then I also built these incredible relationships with her community.
Okay.
So it inspired me to create my own community so that I can have an environment for people where they have my coaching, my leadership, my guidance, and I'm providing them with other amazing, incredible businesswomen to connect with, to collaborate with, to hold themselves accountable with, as we all do learn these tools, navigate through social media, up level, um, just rise within our vision on a larger scale. Because I can see these people when they come to me, I can see these women, oh, like, so amazing. I can see, oh wow, this is how big you're going to go, but you only see yourself right here.
Right.
Let's take this and bring it in right now. Let's speed this up, because people need what you have. They need what you have, and I'm gonna make that.
Right. I
Let's get
love
out
it.
there, let's get to business, let's let people see you. Let's get seen. And I'm super passionate about it. We have a lot of fun. I do
Nice.
one-on-one. I help people with their teams, all of that as well. That's always something that's completely ongoing. And right now, Get Seen is something I'm super passionate about.
That's really awesome. I think the biggest thing that I heard that I pulled from that, your group, is that you can't do it alone,
Mm-mm.
right? You have to have that community, someone that's in your corner, because when you're on the inside looking out, it's a totally different perspective than somebody on the outside looking in. And it
Mm-hmm.
took me a while personally to learn that. I always, tried to do everything on my own. One, because I didn't want to bother other people, but it's amazing how many people want to help you to grow and
Yeah.
be successful, and also bring you along for the ride while they're growing and be successful. So I think that's really powerful. If I may, I think I'm going to look into your group and join as well. I think it's really important to always be part of a community, and see what I can get from it.
Hey, of course you may. I
Thank you.
was hoping that you would have that conversation with me. So yes, we will set up a conversation on that because you are absolutely incredible,
Oh,
and I mean that.
thank you.
I'm watching your shows, and grateful and thankful that you have me honored that you have me as a guest,
Absolutely.
because I've been really enjoying watching your shows, and you're going to take this very, very far. You already
Thank
are.
you.
So
Thank
I
you.
love, I love what you're doing.
I was always in sales, right? I did a lot of reading in sales, and one of the books that I landed on was Zig Ziglar. And the thing that he said that always stuck with me is, if you help someone get what they want, you will ultimately get what you want. And
Mm-hmm.
from that, I deduced that it's about making sure that you're focused on someone else. To your point from earlier, right? You're focused in on your customer, you're focused in on your client, and if you help them achieve what they need, right, and want to achieve, then it will just propel you so that you can continue to help other people. But at the same time, whether it's monetary, or I've been talking to some nonprofit organizations, if it's just to continue to bring funds in so that you can continue to help others, I think that's the most important thing, that's out there. So thank you. I
Love
appreciate
that.
that. Thank you. So
Yeah.
last question. You had mentioned your podcast. Tell us about it.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I am working with an amazing podcast launch. She's called like your podcast launch bestie or something to that effect. Her name is Angie M. Jordan, and I think she's absolutely incredible. I had decided that I was not going to do this on my own. I have been scaling this year, and I'm able to help more people, and I was like, okay, I can make graphics, I can do all these things, but why am I doing this? Like, let's I've been following this woman for over a year, I'm hiring her. so
Nice.
so basically, we about my podcast, a lot of it's going to be decided by her guidance. Like, I'm working with her to figure out the name. I'm working with her to figure out what kind of graphics we're going to use. I mean, obviously, I'm going to stick with my brand colors and all of that. But the podcast itself, I know it. I'm going to have conversations about what I love within the realm of visibility. I also want to have conversations about things I have different perspectives on, and or you not different, unique perspectives on, just who I am, right? Just conversations in general. So right now we're working to figure out how to weave that in, where I'm attracting my ideal client that wants to come to me for visibility work, but I also get to be myself. And my thoughts on it is you attract people to work with you the more they know about you, right? They know who you are, they know if they vibe with you, all of that.
Right.
Because unless you're like Coca-Cola or McDonald's or something like that, we're just working with people we like, right? So
Right.
I'm thinking that we can find a way to make it to where it makes sense, to be able to talk about different issues and different things that, I don't know, just different topics in general, aside from just Facebook, Instagram,
Sure.
visibility, all of that.
Sure.
And it it will launch in, I had the date to launch in December. I think I'm going to launch it in the new year.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm thinking like more
Fresh.
January-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice,
Hmm.
nice. Well,
Yeah.
when you get it all together,
Hmm.
your name, your actual date, please let me know. We will
Thank you.
definitely, for visibility, make sure that we get it on our channels as well and share it out there. I think that your spirit, um, Leilani, is so strong. I remember the first time that I spoke with you, and I was like, "Wow, that woman is amazing." So I think that that will show through in your podcast, and I know it'll be there in your group. And I had the opportunity to sit in on one of your on a gosh, on another little community. It wasn't one that we
Oh,
were
honey
both.
pot with
Yes,
Todd.
honeypot,
That's so good.
honeypot.
Hmm.
And I was just sitting back. It was a terrible day, right? It was one of those I don't want to be on camera days. But I just sat back and I watched and I listened and I was like, wow, she has something. And so I am honored to have connected with you, and I hope that we can continue to grow our business relationship, as well as personal, even, right? Because business isn't just about business. So,
Hmm.
all
Thank you
right.
so much. That's very sweet. I really appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome. And I mean it. I absolutely mean it. All right. So let's see if we have any questions that are out there in the community. So let me look over here real quick. So I have a couple questions that are asking in regards to where they can find you. I'll share that in just a few minutes. So if those individuals can hold on for a second, I'll get that up there on the screen.
And
Um,
while you're looking, I'll kind of answer that before you get that up there on the screen
okay,
for them.
okay,
So you guys, um, feel free to direct message me on any platform of your choosing. You guys, Facebook is probably the quickest, but any platform, I check my direct messages. Especially if you're interested in hearing more about Get Seen, because those messages I'm getting back to the quickest right now. So to be quite completely blunt, I definitely want to enroll many more amazing women into the program. I'm very excited to work with people who are looking to get more visibility. And then Passion to Profits is a space that I am loving and nurturing and having a great time and connecting people in. And that's my free Facebook group. So those are two really great places to connect with me right now.
so this is the Facebook group that you just mentioned.
Hmm.
Right. So if you guys go out there, Leilani is at Leilani-Wells on Facebook so that you can find her there and her group. There was a question that came in about Get Seen, Leilani. So you
Hmm.
answered the first part of it. How do we get enrolled in the Get Seen? And the second question is there a cost associated?
Yes, there is a cost associated with it, and that I can go over with you guys on a call or in the DMs or something like that. We can talk about it. And that is a 3-month program. People who are getting started early, that make their decision faster. The ones I have four, yeah, four and a fifth one looking at joining right now. So those four that already made payments, they are getting one-on-one coaching with me because they made their decision earlier, and I wanted to just get them off it and running immediately. So it's pretty fun. It's a pretty big deal because one-on-one coaching with me is typically $1,000 a month, and they're getting that gifted to them before it starts.
Wow, that's awesome.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
really awesome. Okay. It looks like that is outside of how to get in contact with you. That's the last question that came in. Is there anything more that you'd like to share? I want to make sure that if there's something else that's a burning desire that you want to share with the audience, that you have the platform to do so at this moment.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just say to, anyone who's watching now or the replay or anything, if you have something that you've been wanting to do or you have something you are already doing, and you feel like you have to do it, like no matter what it is, like like something that you are meant to do, then just do it and tell people about it. Like just do it and tell people about it, because as we found out these past couple years of everything that we're all going through, um, this is what matters.
That's
What
like,
matters is connecting with people and doing things that you are meant to do. That's the real stuff that matters. All this other stuff, that we were focused on before we were going through all of this, we're finding is not really that important. The busyness of all the crap, and let's just go and buy this and make money, to just lose our time trying to make money. Well, the money's going to come, right? The passion first, and then the profits come. And a big part of that is just learning as you go and get out there and let people see you. And the more and more resources will come, but you got to take that step and make that leap and trust in yourself. And you can't do it until you start making these steps. And the big part of that is just letting people see you. And the cool thing is too, we put so much focus on what do we post and how do we show up and all this stuff. But the funny thing is we all have such short attention spans that if you fumble, everyone's going to forget about that in a couple
yeah,
days.
yeah,
Everyone's going to forget about it in 30 seconds probably. So just
right,
get out there and do what you do, because if you mess up, they're going to forget that you messed up. All they're going to see is, wow, that person keeps going.
right,
They just keep going. That's impressive. They're not scared. They're on live right now. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Like,
right.
I'm scared to get on live. So they're not looking at the mistake you're making on live because they're too scared to get on live. So just get out
Great
there,
point.
let people see you. You've got something special to offer. If you're watching this, you've got something special to offer.
Awesome. Thank you, Leilani, for that. Thank you
Mhm.
so much. Well, everybody out there, if excuse me, if you're interested in increasing your visibility and growing your business, be sure to register for Leilani's next group coaching session, Get Seen. All right, Leilani. Well, thank you so much for being on and chatting with us. I look forward to connecting with you and being a part of your group and listening also to your podcast come first of the year.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I really loved being here. Thank you so much.
So you can find Leilani, as I said, on Facebook. You can also find her on Instagram at Leilani M. Wells. You can also connect into her on Twitter. I love how I say Twitter. I'm so proper.
That was awesome.
Leilani M. Wells on Twitter. Definitely make sure that you follow her here. I don't have her LinkedIn screen, but make sure that you connect to her on LinkedIn as well. She's definitely visible there. Leilani, thank you so much. You have a fantastic time, madam. I really enjoyed our conversation.
I did as well. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you. All right, everybody. So we do this every single week. All the information that we talked about today will be in the description of the recording. So be sure to check it out. Also, there will be links there to sign up for my newsletter, the executive memo, as well as Leilani's. I didn't ask her if she has one, but if she does, we'll make sure that it's there as well. And I'll make sure, and these memos are to keep you updated on all the events to help you grow your business. Again, I thank her so much for her time today. I know I felt inspired and motivated to get out there and increase my visibility. And I definitely am going to take the tip of writing down my thoughts, because I know when I get ready to sit down to do my marketing, I'm all over the place. I can't ever get it together. So that's one of the biggest tips that I'm taking away from it. So please, please, please be sure to check out Leilani online. Also, be sure to tune in to our next episode where I'll be speaking with a business accountant who has helped many entrepreneurs manage their business and grow financially. After all, isn't that why we started our business in the first place? A recording of the show will be available on YouTube on the Lady Executive channel. So head on over there, like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified of all new posts that go, all of our live shows that will be posted, all of our episodes. And while you're out there, make sure to join the Facebook group, The Executive Lounge, where you get early access to these live tapings of the show and participate in the live studio audience. Again, thank you so much for joining. And remember, experience is the master teacher, even when the experience is not our own. Until next time, bye bye now.